Yo, 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 what's good, YouTube? What's good? It's Stormybman, and I am back welcoming you to an early post-fight show with Stormybman. And we are here to talk about the fight that just took place, finished up on Dazn between Kiko Martinez and Josh Warrington. Man, I didn't want to wait for later in the evening after the other bouts on ESPN and Showtime finished up. I wanted to get to this one early. This is a fight that most of us, we kind of knew what was going to happen from the start. And that's a shame because when you think about it, it's like, okay, they were fighting with full advantages for Warrington, hometown advantages and things of that nature. But listen, this man gets away with far too much in the ring. He's not that good. He looks for external advantages, whether it be hometown favoritism with judging and, fighting out of his own backyard and things of that nature, or it could very well be the circumstances that he creates within the fight. I would like to question what's going on with his gloves. I would like to question what goes on with his tactics of being a dirty fighter, using his head as a weapon and spear in there, causing cuts, lacerations, abrasions on his opponents that put them at a deficit in a fight with him. Always cuts around the eyes. And then here in this fight, we saw a blatant headbutt where he rammed Kiko like a deer or a ram and opened up a split on his forehead. I mean, no point deductions. All the ref did was warn and point his finger at him and things of that nature, which is all like the words that Andre Ward likes to use, body language, but it doesn't really mean anything, huh? So we see this from Warrington. This bout was contested for the IBF World Featherweight title, and Kiko Martinez had won the title rather, when he fought, excuse me, against the former champion, Kid Galahad. And the Kid Galahad fight was back in November of 2021, and he won that fight fair and square. He defeated Galahad by downing him twice in the fight and stopping him inside of 6 rounds. I'm sorry. I hate to see a spirited fighter like Martinez, who late in his fighting life, though he has 11 losses on his record, 2 draws, in 43 victories and 30 KOs, this man has fought spirited. He's a short man at 5'1.5" and with a 66-inch reach, but he's the type of fighter who brings it each and every time out. And he had even said that he thought that he could stop Warrington inside of 3 rounds, believe it or not. And again, that could be possible if you're facing a guy on the up and up. There was a exchange that took place in the fight within, I want to say, the first minute and a half of the first round, where we saw Warrington hit him with some type of a left uppercut, something like that, that caught Martinez near the eye. And he immediately backed up and turned away and pointed to the ref and was pointing to his eye as if something was wrong. He was in some type of distress there. Now, amazingly, the ref ignored it, and they just kept fighting, and he realized he was in a fight. He had to continue to fight. But all of a sudden, there was blood there. And I'm like, now what did he hit him with that would have... Listen, people, Warrington is not a knockout puncher, okay? He's not. He's about as light-fisted as they come. The man in 31 wins has 8 KOs. Okay? 8! And understand that some of those are TKOs where someone official, like tonight, steps in and stops a fight. It ain't that he knocks somebody cold and stiff. So out of 31 fights of victories, you only have 8 KOs? Come on, man. There's something to be said here. You got to point these things out. This guy fought, he's from the UK. His nickname is the Leeds Warrior. Okay, Leeds is a place in the UK. Whether it's a suburb or a certain area, whatever, province, however they call it over here. Here we have states, suburbs, things of that nature. But this man is from Leeds, England. So they were definitely in his backyard. He had cuts over both eyes. We're talking about Martinez here. And on the forehead. He was down in the first round from a legitimate knockdown. But you have to understand that the man was distracted. Okay, and he just wasn't necessarily on top of his game due to the distresses early on. We saw something very similar in Warrington's last fight. A rematch also, because this fight tonight was a rematch, but his rematch against Mauricio Lara, who had stopped him in 9 rounds, okay, and Lara had a cut over the left eye in the second round from what they call the accidental head clash of heads, but it bled profusely, and they stopped the fight after the second round. But boy, was Warrington going to work with his head. Lara had already hit him with a couple of shots that stunned him, just like in the first fight that led to a knockout when they fought in February of 2021. This rematch against Lara took place in September of 2021, and it didn't look good for Warrington. I don't like fighters like this. These men are allowed to survive in the sport and thrive in the sport, and they cause chaos, okay? They cause chaos. He's fighting only in his hometown or in his own country, because if he brought his ass outside of that small pool, he'd get everything that he deserved handed to him on the outside of that. This is me just being forthright and upfront about this particular fighter. He is a POS, people, a POS. And I don't see anything proud or anything upstanding about him as a person or a fighter. You're out there causing disruptions to other fighters' career with these ridiculous headbutts, putting scars and scar tissue around fighters who ordinarily wouldn't even bleed, around their faces and everything, and nobody says anything. This is ridiculous. This is utterly ridiculous. I've seen class fighters. I've seen them go to work. I've seen them do their business in there. This guy is a joke. Josh Warrington. And they got a title back around his waist without he having to face the man that knocked his ass out. You cannot make this stuff up, people. The things that they do in the sport of boxing, the games that they play, what they put certain fighters up against, how certain fighters have to go through brick wall after brick wall for an opportunity, and other guys just have a path laid out for them. Here, take this turn right here and go through that door at the end of the corridor, and there's a couple of belts on the table for you. Yeah. That's exactly what they do, man. And you have to call it like it is. Stop saying that these men are world champions and start calling them what they are. Title holders, belt holders, huh? Bruce Lee used to say the only thing good belts are for is to hold your pants up. Huh? And lo, do we know we need belts in this era because everybody wants to wear the pants hanging off their asses. Huh? Pants on the ground, they call it. Yeah. But if you think that this man is world class, you're wrong. He's an ass. And I'll say it. Because that spirited fighter from Spain, Mr. Martinez, he's not going to complain too much. But he knows he was in there against something questionable tonight. I would have loved to see Warrington's gloves inspected, his wraps inspected. And I would like to see them take reviews of the films of his last couple of fights, the Lara fight and this fight, and watch the damn headbutts. Watch him go to work, beating these men up on the inside and banging them up on the inside with his skull. And a lot of people don't understand how powerful your skull is, especially when you're initiating the contact. The other guy has no idea the impact is coming. You do because you're initiating it. And when you do initiate it, you can brace for impact. They have no idea it's coming, and boom, next thing you know. Do you know that sometimes headbutts just give guys concussions and they're on Queer Street from the moment of that? A lot of them bluff and play the game of I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. But some of these guys are seeing slanted and three people and stuff like that after a clash of heads. It happens all the time on almost every down in football. So Warrington has a title around his waist. But he has something else hanging over his head that I am leading a call to people to recognize what's going on with this guy. He is full of it. And so are the people who train him and those who seem to want to, celebrate these type of victories that he finds himself involved in. Why didn't he fight Lara again? Why not? As soon as Lara's cuts healed, they should have been right back at it. But no, they went what they felt to be an easier route against another fighter he had fought before, which was Martinez. Okay? When they fought the last time, it was in May of 2017, and he won a majority decision over Kiko Martinez at that time, who I think was about 36-7 with one draw. You see? But I'm telling you, I'm just putting it out there. I'm putting it out there. I'm putting it out there for real. I'm letting you know that this is all BS. And there's a lot of BS that's roaming the floors and the rings of the sport of boxing at this particular time. Salute to Kiko Martinez. At least before he went out in his career, he had a chance to win a world championship by stopping a champion, Galahad. Because nobody had him picked in that fight against Galahad. And he won as an underdog. I salute fighters like that. Because, as the old leprechaun once said, Larry Merchant, sometimes an aging fighter can put it together in one fight and come back and produce the type of fight that he was known for earlier in his career, and in some instances able to even pull out a victory. And that's what Martinez did when he defeated Galahad. Now, Galahad is young enough that he'll be able to come back. But Martinez is the type of fighter that you want to see in the sport. With his fighting spirit, the way he's a silent assassin. He doesn't go around speaking, grabbing the mic, putting on airs and things of that nature. He just shows up in shape and looking to perform. And coming out of Spain, those Spaniards, man, they have made an impact in the sport of boxing over the past couple of years. And that's to be respected as well. Just think about it. They show you. Everybody wants to tell you how good Warrington is. But I could look at Martinez and tell how good he is. I don't have to hear it. I can see it. He's a consummate professional. He goes out there to do what he has to do. And win, lose, or draw. He puts it on the line, and that it'll be what it's going to be. No sugarcoating. But the moment you put Warrington in there with someone outside of his little pond, he's going to get his ass handed to him. Royally. In the Queen's English. Yeah. I said it. I want to go back and see who we got in the building here. We got Silvestro 2011. He says, Stormy, salute. Salute to you. D-Ray Promotions was in here as well. Silvestro says, dirty tactics. However, congratulations on the stoppage. Josh Warrington versus Kiko Martinez. Shadow 979 in the building saying, salute Stormy B-Man. Salute to you, brother. Gregory X is back saying, greetings, brothers and sisters. Smash that like button. Thank you so much for that, Gregory. I appreciate it. The reminder. Box Fans is out there saying, Stormy B-Man, salute. Salute to you. PGH Big Dog in the building saying, salute Stormy B-Man. Salute to you as well. We got William Old School Arden out there saying, salute Stormy. Salute to you, brother. King Corleone is back saying, what up, Stormy? What's good with you, bro? Box Fan says, it's ridiculous. Absolutely, Box Fans. And I'm gonna speak on it. I'm gonna say these things because they need to be said. Sid UK says, salute Stormy B-Man. One of the few boxing historians out here. Love listening to an OG of boxing knowledge. I appreciate you, Sid UK. And don't think that I'm trying to dump on the UK because I'm not. I'm dumping on Josh Warrington, an isolated entity in this conversation. He is a POS. He's a guy who cheats and looks for advantages instead of going out there with true boxing skill. After he opened up the cuts on Martinez this evening, he started moving around and everything like he's trying to show ring generalship. The damage was done. All he had to do was just kept peppering the areas where the blood was flowing. And eventually they would have to step in and stop it, either on cuts or like what happened. He got the guy against the ropes, and as soon as he started letting his hands go, and Martinez is looking for a place to counter and punch, and the ref jumps in and stops it. The ref didn't yell, hey, you got to punch back or I'm going to stop it, which some refs do, right? No, he just jumped on in there and gave Warrington his victory for the evening. So, no, this is not a stab or jab at UK. It's a stab in the ass for Warrington. Sid UK says, Warrington fights dirty. He literally smothers his opponents. Elbows, headbutts, and shoulder butts. Absolutely. Gregory X says, as Stormy B-Man, multiple trinkets per weight division are the adult version of participation trophies. It's even worse than that, Gregory X, because you have a number of people who would never be a world champion, let alone titleist, if it were not for that. And the paths that are carved out for these men to do what they do. That's the bad part right there. When you see these gentlemen who don't even belong in the top 10 or 20. But we see it all the time. We see it all the time. And it's time for someone to say something about it. And I'm leading the path. Knockout Boxing 86 TV is out there. He says, because he knows Lara will beat his ass again. Yeah. He knows. We knows. Sylvester says he was stuck on Lara, unfortunately, so he went the Martinez route. Con Shonery in the building saying salute to you. Bruce Goes is out there, or Bruce Gas says salute, bro. Stormy B-Man, salute to you. Who else we got here? Con Shonery says Larry Holmes once said even a blind squirrel will find an acorn once in a while. Yes, sir. You know that's right. You know that's right. Dwayne Jones in the building saying bless up from the mighty ATL. Sylvester was like, damn. Yeah, why you say damn? You know, because I'm telling you facts. I'm telling you facts, man. That's what I don't sugarcoat this stuff, man. I don't have powder or Pampers, in my repertoire over here. Over here you're going to get the real deal. And why don't Josh Warrington go fight somebody that could give him some competition? I'll tell you why he don't fight somebody that could give him some competition, or someone that's outside the UK.
This nigga's scared.
Yeah. That's why. You come out here and you look for all types of advantages on people. Well, I'll tell you, I double dare you. Bring your ass on out of Leeds, Bring your ass out off of that little continent over there, the UK. Bring your ass on over to the US. Or the islands, Puerto Rico, Virgin Islands, where they got some people waiting to whoop your ass. And you sitting up there listening to these guys, these analysts and former fighters over there talking about this man like he really did something. And anybody could clearly see this guy's full of headbutts and elbows and everything and whatever else they'll allow him to get away with because he's fighting on his own ground. They probably had all types of things going on that we would never know about. But it wouldn't surprise me one iota if they pulled out all the stops on Mr. Martinez. Mr. Shelton, I see you out there, man. Salute to you. Divine Sense, my brother, is out there saying salute, Stormy. Salute to you. Divine, good to see you. Eric O is in the building saying salute, Sensei. Salute to you. I've got ESPN playing in the background. I know we got some main events coming up on there with Burchelt and Nakatila. And then later this evening, we'll still have the Showtime main event where we'll get to see Tim Tszyu taking on Terrell Gausha. Probably could be the fight or performance of the evening. Very much looking forward to that. If you guys didn't get a chance to check out our earlier broadcast, In the Eye of the Storm, featuring Knockout Boxing 86 TV, please do so. Great show. We had a great opportunity, Knockout and myself, to speak on the sport of boxing from his position, from how he represents his content and his channel. Great show. If you missed it, shame on you, but you can always catch the replay. This is what we do out here, guys. We present this for you guys. We try to present it in the best form we can. We try to present it in the best form we can. Just know it. So we got a couple more people came into the building. We got Anthony Jones out there saying, what up, though, Stormy B, man? Salute, sir. Salute to you. Big homie Coop is in the building saying, salute, Sifu. Salute to you. Bruce Gass says, if you copy Mr. Shelton, salute. And let's see. Khan Shanri says, I caught the replay, Stormy. Was a good show. Thank you so much. And if you guys haven't subscribed to Knockout, do so. Brother's got some good stuff going on over there. But I'm not going to keep you guys on this particular stream. I just wanted to come on and share my piece. I will do a post-fight after the Zoo Gaucher fight is done. I will be back for a later post-fight. That way it doesn't have to be as long. But I just wanted you guys to hear what I had to say about this because it was totally necessary to come on and talk about this guy who is, in my words, a POS, huh? Not the most respectable person in the sport of boxing. And I have to say, you know, I had to come on out here and share that. Salute to my brother, Drew Titan, LLC, in the super chat. He says, in the gym listening, family, cook. You know it, Drew. You know me, man. I will say the things that need to be said, man. And thank you for your super chat, brother. It's a damn shame they celebrate these guys. If he was out there boxing, running circles around Martinez, hitting him with shots after shots and setting him up and, you know, giving angles and landing and scoring shots, I would have nothing more to say but outstanding boxing performance. But that's not what he's about. He has never been about. And I just pointed out to you, with a record of 30-something fights as victories, the guy only has 8 KOs. 8! That means he cannot crack an egg, people. So where are these cuts coming from? Isn't it obvious? It's not coming from his gloves. It's coming from him spearing with his head and everything. And shouldn't there be point deductions for that? Shouldn't there be disqualification in consideration when someone like he is getting away with this? Fighters who start getting scar tissue around their eyes have to take special care and concern for themselves going forward, especially if it's early in their careers, because you have to make sure that you don't get banged up too badly that every time you fight, a cut is opening up. Gabe Rosado is one of the ones who was cutting up a lot. He got great work done, taking care of his cuts, and then he became extremely more defensive responsible. And you saw and see the results when he fights now. But everyone won't be that lucky. It's a damn shame that you could go home and look in the mirror at yourself and see Josh Warrington. That's where he speared me with that head. That's where he hit me on the side. That's where he did. And it's all from him hitting you with his freaking head. If I was working Martinez's corner after that first round cut, I would have sent him out there to do something to Josh Warrington that would level the playing field. I will not tell you guys on the air what that is, but we have something in the gym that we can tell a guy how to handle certain things under certain auspices. Am I an advocate of it? Absolutely, under the right circumstances. And Josh Warrington needs to be taught a lesson in the sport of boxing. And anyone like him needs to be taught the same lesson. Salute to Flawless out there. I see you, Flawless Mentality, Dr. Mark. Conshonry says, yeah, I said the same thing myself when he got the stoppage. Warrington isn't any kind of puncher, but he was doing a lot of visible damage to Martinez, and no one said a damn thing. No announcers, no refs, no doctors, no judges. Why? Because he's from Leeds and they were fighting in Leeds? Huh? Why didn't they just have a ceremony and have everybody show up so they can pass him the damn belt? Huh? Not fight for it. Just walk in the arena with your trunks on and everything and your robe, gloved up like you're going to fight and get in the ring. And then they say, we're gonna ring the bell every 3 minutes. Okay. And then after a certain time period, we'll just walk up and give Josh his title. That way, Mr. Martinez could have went on and fought someone else and had a chance to fight a fight and not get so banged up with cuts and everything. You know, the cuts will put you out for a long period of time. It's ridiculous. Who the hell does that? Yeah, Drew. Now he can magically cut people. All you got to do is go back and look at his last 3 fights. And he can't crack an egg, folk. That's the thing. You're watching him, but he can't crack an egg. But people come out of the fight with him looking like they got beaten with some damn brass knuckles or something. Did you know there's an art to dirty tactics in boxing? There are some old school trainers who know how to train you what to do. They're as adept of that as they are someone who can show you how to jab or throw a proper left hook. Oh, yeah. They could teach you how to do these certain moves, bend people's arms. You know what I'm saying? Use the head. Use the elbow and the shoulder. A shoulder butt at the right point can daze a guy. Yeah. Elbows. Man, let me tell you. You have no idea. That's why when I'm looking at the fight, I know what I'm looking at. I'm looking at this guy and I'm saying, you know what? I would have sent Martinez out to do some things to him, man. The fight would have either ended in a disqualification or Josh Warrington would have quit. Yeah. Yeah. They would have had all those people in that stadium coming in there trying to get at Mr. Martinez had I been working his corner. Absolutely. You got to call it like it is, man. You got to call it like it is. But that, you know, I'm just being honest about it. Yeah. You know. Drew Titan says that's the UK magic that no one wants to discuss. Oh, yeah. They know how to do the dirty stuff. The Marcus of Queensberry rules go back a long time, bro. They know. They know. It's just that other people in other parts of the world advanced their boxing skills and left the primitive stuff on the ground. But they never put it on the ground. They always kept it as a part of what they do. Good fighters to great fighters can advance beyond that. But some of these pugs that meander in the sport, that's all they got. That's all they got. Marcus Wells says, boxing killing us one fight at a time. It's sickening, man. Absolutely. Absolutely. William says, I picked Kiko, but never considered he was fighting with headbutts. I knew when Knockout and I were talking about the fights early in the afternoon. We discussed this, man. We kind of knew that Warrington fighting in his home place and everything, the deck was just going to be stacked too much for Martinez. But we didn't know he was going to come out of there, like I said, looking like he had been beaten with brass knuckles. And the worst part of that is it was not Mr. Warrington's fist doing that action. Unless he had something in that left glove, which I told Knockout, I said, hey, I see how he keeps adjusting that glove. He keeps adjusting it. You know, when you got gloves on and your gloves are fitted right and everything, you don't have to keep adjusting them. But what is he doing? See, people don't talk about that. They want to see a glove flopping around. A glove don't have to be flopping to be improper. Drew Titan says, I used to throw my shoulder on the opposite side of the ref. I know how to play dirty. Yeah. And William says, we needed a Galata tactic. Uppercut to the nuts. Hey, it's not that simple, William. The things that I am suggesting, no, but it'll definitely stop all that other stuff. It'll stop it. I remember when Tyrell Biggs was fighting Mike Tyson. And Tyrell Biggs came out trying to dance around like Ali and flip the jab and this and that. And Tyson was slowly walking him down, throwing body shots, hitting him. Tyson was throwing elbows and clinches and throwing elbows. As he missed right hands, he'll follow through with the elbow. And then one time in the clinch, Tyrell asked him, man, you throwing elbows too? Tyson was like, man, I'm going to throw everything. You're going to die in here. You hear? You're going to die. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Conshonery says, William Old School Art, laugh out loud, but Galata did it for different reasons. And twice at that. Derek Bailey in the building saying, salute. Stormy B, man, salute to you. He says, Kiko needed a page out of Galata's playbook. King Corleone says, Bernard Hopkins. Yeah, Bernard was a very smart, wise fighter in there. He knew all the tricks, but he also could fight and box. So, you know, you make it difficult for guys. You never make it easy. And you see these dudes today, they are so ill-prepared. It's interesting because when rough stuff started happening, they don't know. They don't know what to do. So you have to be studied up, especially when you get to the world-class level, huh? That world-class level means a lot. Yeah, it means a lot. Conshonery says, I remember that Mike quote. Yeah. Mike was something else till he ran into somebody else who would fight his ass back. Then it became, you know, remember, like he said, everybody got a plan till they get punched in the mouth. So including him. When he got punched in the mouth, it, you know, some of those epithets ceased, huh? They slowed up, huh? Yeah. Holyfield, Buster Douglas, Lennox Lewis, huh? People who fought back. But yeah, we're going to get ready for those fights tonight. The Burchelt fight will be coming up very soon, hopefully. Maybe we'll get it in before the Showtime card starts. Definitely before the main event. And when I do my post-fight on those two, I'll do primarily just the Burchelt and the Gaucher. Unless the co-main for the Gaucher is a better fight, we'll see. But, you know, you guys know that I'll be back to fulfill the evening's post-fight streams with this. So just know Stormy will be back for you guys, and we can take it up from there. But that's pretty much it. That's all I had. I want to get in here and say something about this Josh Warrington crap, man. Didn't like what I saw, and you know, we will get around and get through this, man. We will get around and get through this. But peace to you all. See you guys a little bit later. I know the brother KQKC is probably getting himself together to be able to make those later calls. And we will be back, as William says. Okay? So peace to you, brothers. Catch you guys a little bit later. I'm out.
Thank you for
Good morning.
Morning to you.
Why are you gay?
Who says